The darkness was filling the spaces between the trees when the first howl rang out. My horse flinched and tossed her head. I had to cling to the high-pommelled Magyar saddle. The mare stumbled behind the main party, flinching at the echo of the strange sound, neither hound nor man. I looked about me. The cry hung around the black trunks lining the forest road. The horse flared her nostrils, huffing in the cold air, rolling her eyes back at me. Whatever she scented put a judder in her trot. Veils of mist dropped through the canopy. Dew beaded on my cloak and ran off the brim of my hat. I turned in the saddle to look behind me, but the silent trees seemed empty. Dr. John Dee, my master, was still tall atop a great horse. He was draped about in the cloak given to him by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth herself, at Greenwich Palace after Dee had demonstrated necromancy. Another howl, this one more of a shriek, was cut short by a deep rumbling. I jumped, and the nag's ears flattened onto its sweaty neck. "God preserve us," I prayed, clutching the pommel. I resisted the urge to cross myself, clinging instead to the greasy leather. Our rented house in Krakow, my mentor's wife cooking, the sound of Dee's children playing, all felt very far away. I longed for Richmond and the library at Mortlake. Once out of the city, this country closed in on all travellers. No one dawdled on these roads, nor ventured off the track into miles of dense forest. I had long since lost all sense of where we were. Dee was the navigator, keen to add to his collection of maps and charts. We met few people on the road, and they treated us with equal suspicion. The Hungarian Magyars galloped everywhere on shaggy ponies, often with swords in their hands. The Poles travelled in armed caravans, guarding themselves against the Hungarians, the Lithuanians, the gypsies, and most of all, the forest. I caught a drop of the mist on my tongue. Winter came early in the mountains of Poland. The rain had the taste of melted snow. A flicker of movement in the edge of my vision made me lean back in the saddle. In the scrub that separated the forest from the road, blackened brambles shivered and cast silver droplets to the ground. The lead escort shouted to his countrymen with urgency in his tone. They kicked their horses into a canter. Dee's horse swept along with them as the party rode away from me. I shouted at my steed in good English, then in poor German, but all the rangy mare could manage was a jaw-jarring trot. Then I saw it. A grey pelt sliding between decaying brackens. The wolf, for it was certainly no dog, threw back a long snout over the leaves and howled with an eerie, halting voice. The sound echoed between the trees. I could see, in the fading light, Dee's horse being dragged by one of the bare-skinned escorts towards a bend in the track. Dee was looking back, his face and long beard pale against his scarlet cloak, as the wolf loped onto the road. My mount stopped abruptly, and only the saddle-bow stopped me sliding over its neck. The horse squealed, backing, hooves catching on the road. I saw other shadow shapes oiling out of the undergrowth, hesitant at first, then bolder. They were thin, their bellies arched like siege mongrels, open mouths blood red in the greys of dusk. I kicked the horse with renewed energy, and it was startled into a canter past the wolf before us. Another leapt at the horse's throat, but a cut from my whip made it cringe away. It was then that I felt my seat slide loose on the horse's back, the girth slack. Perhaps when she had stopped, it had loosened or snapped. The saddle, with both packs tied to it, and I perched between them, fell into the road. I managed to land on one foot and to stagger into the crowding creatures, waving the whip. One of the beasts had stopped the mare again, who was now screaming in panic, backing step by step towards me in my protection. She lurched into me, so I lost my footing for